Has someone ever called you a narcissist? How to know if you are a narcissist? You might be wondering if you actually have the personality disorder. Narcissists tend to deny or rationalize away their flaws, even though they often have shallow or unstable relationships. For instance, they might tell themselves people who dislike me are just jealous. By questioning whether or not you have a clinical disorder, you're showing a level of self reflection that many people with NPD may lack. Some other questions you can ask yourself. Let's have a look. Do you mostly fixate on your own wants and needs, or do you spend time thinking about others' needs? Do you often belittle or look down on others? Or do you believe that you can learn from them? Do you believe you're more important than most people? Or do you see that other people have equal importance? Are you often dismissive or defensive when you receive criticism? Or do you accept that you make mistakes and have room to grow? If you recognize that you're unusually self-centered or have a hard time empathizing with others, consider talking to a mental health professional. A professional can use clinical interviews and assessments to accurately diagnose NPD or other personality disorders. So due to the very nature of the disorder, most people with NPD are reluctant to admit they have a problem, and even more reluctant to seek help. Usually if you call someone, like you say to them, you're toxic or you're narcissist, most normal people's reaction would be to question self. Am I? Am I being toxic? Am I a narcissist? And then look and question that. The narcissist would be offended. They wouldn't question that. You would be the problem. So they are reluctant to seek help because they're self-obsessed. Even when they do, narcissistic personality disorder can be very challenging to treat. But that doesn't mean there's no hope at all for changes to be made. Mood stabilizers like antidepressants and antipsychotic drugs are sometimes prescribed in severe cases or if your NPD co-occurs with another disorder. But in most cases, psychotherapy is the primary form of treatment. This can take place in person or online therapy. Working with a medical provider, such as a skilled therapist, you can learn to accept responsibility for your actions, develop a better sense of proportion, and build healthier relationships. You can also work on developing your emotional intelligence. The EQ is the ability to understand, use, and manage your emotions in positive ways to empathize with others, communicate effectively, and build strong relationships. Importantly, the skills that make up emotional intelligence can be learned at any time. So educate yourself. The more you understand about the behaviors of a narcissistic person and recognize the techniques a narcissist may use to keep you in the relationship. When you threaten to leave, for example, a narcissist will often resurrect the flattery and adoration, love bombing you, that caused you to be interested in them in the first place. Or they'll make grand promises about changing the behaviour that they have no intention of keeping. Write down all your reasons for wanting to leave. Be clear on why you need to end the relationship. Seek support. Seek support from positive relationship friends, professional support. Don't make empty threats. It's better to accept the narcissist will not change, and when you're ready, simply leave. After you've left, it can be a huge blow. not only for you, but for them. A sense of entitlement and their sense of self-importance, it hits their ego. It still needs to be fed, so they'll often continue trying to exert control over you. Love bombing. If that doesn't work, they might resort to threats, smear campaigns, stalking your social media even, talking to other people, trying to get information on you. Cut off all contact. Cut off all contact with that narcissistic person. The more contact you have with them, the more hope you'll give them that they can reel you back in. It's safer to block the calls, the texts, the emails, disconnect from the social media. And breakups are painful. Allow yourself to feel that pain. Grieve the loss. Allow that. Whatever the circumstances, whatever the relationship, it can leave you very angry, it can leave you sad, confused. Just like all the emotions of grief, loss. Healing can take time. So remember to be kind with yourself. Turn to your friends for support. Professional help again if you need that extra support to pull yourself out. Don't expect the narcissistic person to share that grief. Once the message sinks in that you will no longer be feeding their ego, they'll likely soon move on to exploit someone else. They won't feel the loss or guilt. It's no reflection on you, but rather an illustration of how very one-sided their volatile relationships always are. Dealing with a narcissist. While the narcissist in your life may be very reluctant to change, there are ways to cope with their manipulative and damaging behaviour. Protect yourself and find emotional fulfillment. Tip 1. Don't fall for their fantasy. Narcissists can be very magnetic and charming. They're very good at creating a fantastical, flattering self-image that draws us in. We're attracted to their apparent confidence and lofty dreams. And the shakier our own self-esteem, the more seductive the allure. It's easy to get caught up in the web, thinking that they will fulfill our longing to feel more important, more alive, more loved. But it's just a fantasy, and a costly one. These are tips I'm reading from Help Guide. Your needs won't be fulfilled or even recognised. It's important to remember that narcissists aren't looking for partners. They're looking for obedient admirers. Your sole value to the narcissist is someone who can tell them how great they are, to prop up their insatiable ego. Your desires and your feelings don't count. Look at the way the narcissist treats others. If the narcissist lies, manipulates, hurts, and disrespects others, he or she will eventually treat you the same way. Don't fall for the fantasy that you're different and will be spared that treatment. Take off the rose-coloured glasses. It's important to see the narcissist in your life for who they truly are, not who you want them to be. Stop making excuses for the bad behaviour or minimising the hurt it's causing you. Denial will not make it go away. The reality is that narcissists are very resistant to change. So the true question you must ask yourself is whether you can live like this indefinitely. Focus on your own dreams. Instead of losing yourself in the narcissist's delusions, focus on the things you want for yourself. What do you want to change in your life? What gifts would you like to develop? What fantasies do you need to give up in order to create a more fulfilling reality? Tip 2. Set healthy boundaries for the narcissist. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect and caring. But narcissists aren't capable of true reciprocity in their relationships. They're just not willing. They truly aren't able. They don't see you. They don't hear you. They don't recognize you as someone who exists outside of their own needs. Because of this, narcissists regularly violate the boundaries of others. What's more, they do so with an absolute sense of entitlement. Narcissists think nothing of going through or borrowing your possessions without asking, snooping through your mail and personal correspondence, eavesdropping on conversations, barging in without invitation, stealing your ideas and giving you unwanted opinions and advice. They may even tell you what to think and feel. It's important to recognise these violations for what they are, so you can begin to create healthier boundaries where your needs are respected. Make a plan. If you have a long-standing pattern of letting others violate your boundaries, it's not easy to take back control. Set yourself up for success by carefully considering your goals and the potential obstacles. What are the most important changes you hope to achieve? Is there anything you've tried in the past with the narcissist that worked? Anything that hasn't? What is the balance of power between you, and how will that impact your plan? How will you enforce your new boundaries? Answering these questions will help you to evaluate your options and develop a realistic plan. Consider a gentle approach. If preserving your relationship with a narcissist is important to you, you will have to tread softly. By pointing out their hurtful or dysfunctional behaviour, you're damaging their self-image of perfection. Try to deliver your message calmly, respectfully, and as gently as possible. Focus on how their behaviour makes you feel rather than on their motivations and intentions. Again, we don't know what the intention of someone is or the motivation of someone. We only know the action and how it made us feel. If they respond with anger and defensiveness, try to remain calm. Walk away if need be and revisit the conversation later. Don't set a boundary unless you're willing to keep it. You can count on the narcissist to rebel against any new boundaries and test your limits, so be prepared. It's almost like a child. Testing. Follow up with any consequences specified. If you back down, you're sending the message that you don't need to be taken seriously. Be prepared for other changes in the relationship. The narcissist will feel threatened and upset by your attempts to take control of your life. They are used to calling the shots. To compensate, they may step up their demands in other aspects of the relationship, distance themselves to punish you, or attempt to manipulate or charm you into giving up the new boundaries. It's up to you to stand firm. Tip 3, don't take things personally. To protect themselves from feelings of inferiority and shame, narcissists must always deny their shortcomings, cruelties, and mistakes. Often they'll do so by projecting their own faults onto others. It's very upsetting to get blamed for something that's not your fault, or be characterised with negative traits you don't possess. But as difficult as it may seem, try not to take it personally. It really isn't about you. Don't buy into the narcissist version of who you are. Narcissists don't live in reality, and that includes their view of other people. Don't let their shame and their blame game undermine your self-esteem. Refuse to accept undeserved responsibility, blame, or criticism. That negativity is the narcissist's to keep. Don't argue with a narcissist. When attacked, the natural instinct is to defend yourself and prove the narcissist wrong. But no matter how rational you are, how sound your argument, they are unlikely to hear you. And arguing the point may escalate the situation in a very unpleasant way. Don't waste your breath. Simply tell the narcissist you disagree with their assessment and move on. Know yourself. The best defense against the insults and projections of the narcissist is a strong sense of self. When you know your own strengths and weaknesses, it's easier to reject any unfair criticism levelled against you. Let go of the need for approval. It's important to detach from the narcissist's opinion and any desire to please or appease them at the expense of yourself. You need to be okay with knowing the truth about yourself, even if the narcissist sees the situation differently. Tip 4, look for support and purpose elsewhere. If you're going to stay in a relationship with a narcissist, be honest with yourself about what you can and can't expect. A narcissist isn't going to change into someone who truly values you, so you'll need to look elsewhere for emotional support and personal fulfillment. Learn what healthy relationships look like. If you come from a narcissistic family, you may not have a very good sense of what a healthy give and take relationship is. The narcissistic pattern of dysfunction may feel comfortable to you. Just remind yourself that as familiar as it feels, it also makes you feel bad. In a reciprocal relationship, you will feel respected, listened to, and be free to be yourself. Spend time with people who give you an honest reflection of who you are in order to maintain perspective and avoid buying into the narcissist's distortions. It's important to spend time with people who know you as you truly are and validate your thoughts and feelings. Make new friendships if necessary outside the narcissist's orbit. Some narcissists isolate the people in their lives in order to better control them. If this is your situation, you'll need to invest time into building lapsed friendships or cultivating new ones. Look for meaning and purpose in work, volunteering, hobbies, instead of looking to the narcissist to make you feel good about yourself. Pursue meaningful activities that make use of your talents. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope it's helpful information. Do you know, sometimes because what this involves, this type of relationship, is a lot of gaslighting. There's a lot of breadcrumbing. People on the outside in the public arena and stuff, they don't see usually the narcissistic person. They see someone who's outgoing, who's helpful, who seems to care. What they're not noticing is they don't put a lot of energy into a specific thing. They can't bear to be around people who are sick, etc. It's like, oh, you're draining my energy. If you have an issue, you're ill, you're whatever, or you need help, it's an inconvenience to them. But turn it around to them and you need to be there right now. Or that is not fair. So again, if you've experienced this type of relationship, let us know. We are going to be reading out viewers' correspondence in our live pod discussing this very topic. We won't be using identifiers, we'll just be reading experience, how it showed up in your relationship, and how you got through it. Thank you again for listening. Take care.